Hola amigos, Brad Evans here, and it's time once again to bring the noise. Doing this an hour earlier because you may not have heard, because maybe you're living under a rock or you just don't follow me on social media, which is a-okay. But Tank Williams and I are back on Sunday mornings. We got a live broadcast kicking off at the top of the hour, so 11 a.m. Central, noon Eastern, 9 Pacific. It's a fantasy football / sports betting hybrid show that we are doing exclusively for Bleacher Report and exclusively on the BR app. We're going to answer some of your questions and give you our favorite boom, bust, or bank picks in every single Sunday game today, with, of course, the exception of the game that's already kicked off in jolly old England between the Falcons and Jaguars, and might be Taylor Heineke time because Desmond Ridder royally sucks. A couple of picks already in this game. Bijan Robinson doing some damage to the air. Christian Kirk already with a sledgehammer cash on his receiving yards. Hopefully took advantage of me outlining why I felt that prop was low-hanging fruit, and man, was it ever, as he is having a day, as he should, against T. Alford in that sketchy secondary Atlanta Falcons, particularly pertain to slot wide receivers and the revenge game narrative. Revenge game? Yeah, it's alive and well, as Calvin Ridley splashes 6 in that game already, quite predictably so. Already had that on the spreadsheet at plus 140 at BetMGM. Hopefully took advantage of that as well, and it's probably going to be all downhill from here because that's the nature of betting. But I'm going to be here for the next 30, 40 minutes or so, and I'm going to be here kicking things off at 11 a.m. Eastern time moving forward because of that Bleacher Report show. But I'm a man of the people. And you subscribe to the Faith and Noise channel, hopefully here on YouTube, and you are consuming and watching this product. And it's also broadcasting across Facebook. It's also broadcasting across Twitch, and also on the X at Noisy Huevos. But you can't submit your questions there. You can only submit your questions one of 3 ways. You see at the bottom of your screen to get a hold of me. Via Facebook at Yahoo Noise, old school, it's alive and well there. Twitch at Big Noise 78, or on YouTube in the Fade the Noise channel. Those auto-populate here into the StreamYard service, and I just press a button and it pops up right there on the screen, and I can answer your fantasy football conundrum. Maybe you have a bet to share with the masses. Do so right now. Again, via Facebook, Twitch, or YouTube. Hit me up and bring the noise here ahead of the main slate, week 4 of the NFL season. And again, just a reminder, but wait, there's more. If you can't get enough of me, and I'm sorry, I'm kind of everywhere this time of year. And I like to be everywhere this time of year, to be quite honest. And frankly, watch this ear-piercing dolt and former hard-hitting NFL safety, my brother from another mother, Tank Williams, on the Bleacher Report app. Again, on the app, starting at noon Eastern, we're going to do our streaming broadcast there, our season debut. They just moved us off Tuesdays. They said, guys, we got to get you back into your wheelhouse, which is Sunday mornings. And, of course, Tank and I did a lot of fantastic work for years at Yahoo's Fantasy Football Live, a show that I helped launch a billion years ago, way back in 2006. Believe it or not, and I look older, baggier, and saggier since those days, and I still don't have any hair. That's why I'm wearing the lid right now. All right, before I get to your questions, I'm going to do a condensed version of a few of my favorite player props that are out there, and kind of a fade 3 instead of a fade 5. And we're going to start off with a guy that I think is flexy sexy for fantasy football purposes today. And I'm wearing the goods. Got my Dick Buckus throwback on. I got the Chicago Bears hat on because I want the Bears to lose. Just go ahead and take it right in the nut, guys, yet again. Go over this season. Get the number 1 overall pick. And please, please, please don't trade it. Spin it on Caleb Williams, and that's kind of what this game is. It's the Caleb Williams Bowl between the Bears and a place that I know and love because I lived there for 7 years in Denver, Colorado, against the Broncos, who've been more of the Mile High City My Little Ponies, so to speak, here in the early year, coming off that 70-point thrashing doled out the hands of the Miami Dolphins. But I like a Chicago Bear, and I may be sick and demented in the head, but I think Roshan Johnson has himself a top 30 fantasy day, maybe even a top 20 fantasy day. That's why I like the over on 31.5 rush yards against the Broncos. A little heavier juice there. So if you don't want to reduce the juice and then get seduced by that juice, you might want to pair it with one of your other favorite player props that are out there. Maybe throw an SGP with something else you like in this game, because points should be plentiful, because defense shall not exist on either side of the rock. And zeroing in specifically on the Denver Broncos and what they've allowed this season: 6.07 yards per carry to running backs, 233.7 total yards per game, and 178.7 rush yards per game just to running backs. They've already given up 10 touchdowns combined to the position as well. Roshan has been a slow takeover. He's been chipping away from getting more opportunity share from Khalil Herbert. The snap share has increased in 3 straight weeks, hit a season high around 45% last week. This could be like a 13 to 15 kind of touch game. Doing some damage through the air as a receiver, which he's more than adept at doing, or on the ground between the tackles. Now, the yards after contact per attempt number, unsightly. It's 2.12 right now. Only forced a couple of missed tackles, but he's a big-bodied running back. I know the Bears' offensive line, the worst according to Pro Football Focus right now, and run blocking efficiency. But again, the Broncos, they got 2 who's in the glue factory as we speak. I think Roshan, this could be 60, 70 combined yards and a touchdown for him today. And rush yards alone, all I need is 32 on the over to cash a ticket. Numero dos. This is the week. Jamar Chase finds the end zone for the first time this NFL season. He's long overdue. It's already week 4. And a guy that was in the conversation for number 1 overall pick in fantasy football drafts has yet to splash 6, but I think that changes today, because it's really the mother of all matchups. Facing the Tennessee Titans, that Titans secondary this season, 8.40 yards per attempt they have allowed through the air this season, along with 4 wide receiver touchdowns. And zeroing in specifically on his projected matchup, expected to see a lot of Christian Fulton in this game. And you look at what Christian Fulton has given up this season: an 87.5 catch rate, along with a 158.3 passer rating and a TD. That is a perfect passer rating for those that may be unaware, along with 23.6 yards per catch. Chase is seeing nearly 28% of the team target share. He's got 5 red zone targets and nothing to show for it yet. That's the 4th most in the league entering the week. This is the week. I feel really good about this. And the fact that you're getting this at plus 125 right now on FanDuel, plus money on many of the other sports books, get seduced by that juice on Jamar Chase. Again, I think he's got a great odds of spiking one home, 4-6, and scoring a victory on this prop, and maybe being a key cog for your fantasy win this week as well. And numero uno, here's the name: Rico Arena Suave. Yeah, blare that in the background. If I had the old Sirius XM show, we would 100% have that classic Gerardo song attached to Rico Dowdle on this prop. And all the credit in the world to my buddy Brandon Fun Buns Funston, because he came on Live and Line on Friday, and every single Friday, and I hope you're watching that television show. I co-created it. I'm EP on it. I co-hosted with Dana Kleppinger, Cameron Smith. Funston's on the show every single Friday. Tank is on the show every single Thursday. We have a rotation of guests throughout the week. It's an awesome show. Really proud of what we churn out. It's unlike any other sports betting show in the known universe. You can watch on the Bally Sports RSNs or on Stadium. You can stream it as well at watchstadium.com/live. Watchstadium.com/live. Monday through Friday. We'll have a new show tomorrow, starting at noon Eastern time. Anyway, on the Friday edition of LOTL, Funston brought up Rico Dowdle, and I'm like, interesting. And he goes, the rush yards prop on him is only 13.5 against the Patriots. And that immediately sucked my undivided attention in. And I am tailing Funston on this wager and is my top prop of the day. Honestly, though, Christian Kirk was my top prop of week 4, and that already cashed. And hopefully this one will also cash sweat free. Look at Rico Dottle, a guy that's getting a decent amount of rush attempts per game, 5.7, spelling Tony Pollard here and there. And I think that's going to continue and it may ratchet up slightly moving forward. Yeah, he's only seen 16.8% of the snap share. Yeah, he's only got 18.9% of the opportunity share. But if he gets another 5 carries, I think it's another 20 plus yards. He's gone for at least 21 in every single game this year. You look at the matchup on paper. New England giving up 4 yards per carry. Okay, so there. 78.7 rush yards per game as well. They've allowed the running back position, and the Dallas Cowboys have got some mountain movers in the trenches. A bunch of guys that don't skip meals, and they just toss dudes about. So Dottle on about 4 to 6 rush attempts. I think it's another 20 plus, and all I need is 14 rush yards to score some cold, hard cash. All right, I'm going to get to your questions here in just a second. A friendly reminder, do me a favor, and if you're not submitting questions, go ahead and give me your comments. Give me your questions right now via the Facebook at Yahoo Noise, on Twitch at Big Noise 78, or on YouTube and the Feed the Noise channel. And it appears the first play of the second half already in that Jacksonville game, Calvin Ridley with a catch for 8 yards. It's slowly building up the numbers. I got a pair of receptions for 38 yards now on the day with that touchdown. So already a profitable fantasy day and profitable day for yours truly who had Ridley on an anytime touchdown. And also a reminder, but wait, there's more. I can watch this ear-piecing dolt and Tank Williams on the Bleacher Report app starting at noon Eastern. If I don't get to your question here, I will get to it there. And we're going to be breaking down every single game, booms, busts, and bank. Perfect mixture of fantasy football and sports betting, which really are kind of one and the same when you're looking at the player props market anyway, because it's very black and white, over under on rush yards, pass yards, TDs, whatever it may be. All right, diving into your questions right now here on Bring the Noise, and start off with a hockey nut via the Twitch. Hola, amigo. Hola to you. Burrow or Cousins? I think the higher floor right now is honestly with Kirk Cousins. And I would take him in that matchup against the Carolina Panthers. Could be a sneaky shootout. We'll see what version of Bryce Young arrives. It's really kind of too bad that Bryce Young's already back. I kind of wanted to see Andy Dalton in the Red Rifle again, especially with all the Adam Thielen tickets that I have. But I do like Kirk Cousins a little bit more, probably good for at least 250 and a couple of touchdowns. And then you need 2 out of Kamara, Mostert, Mixon sits. He does. You got to minimize the matchup, and that's putting his ass on the pine because Tennessee, they just don't give up a whole lot of yardage on the ground. They've been exceptionally tight and suffocating 2 opposing running backs under 3.5 yards per carry allowed so far this season. And last one, Hollywood Jacoby, Tutu, or Nico. Jacoby is a complete wild card, knowing that Aiden O'Connell, the pride of Purdue, getting a start today. We also saw DRT, Dorian Robinson Thompson, or DTR, whatever he goes by. I think it's Dorian Thompson Robinson, excuse me, getting the start in Cleveland over Deshaun Watson. So a bit of a bombshell there. And when it comes to Dorian, I want a rush yards prop, please and thank you, Sportsbook, so I can smash the over on it. He ran quite frequently in the preseason. If you're looking for a Hail Mary Chuck in a super flex deep league, Dorian may be the guy. So DTR, certainly debate there. And in terms of this question, it's not a Hollywood. He's questionable with that thumb injury. Maybe that gets re-aggravated in game. Jacoby, too much of a wild card with O'Connell. I go Tutu over Nico. That's process of elimination there. Coda says, hola to you. At a half-point PPR, would you go A-Chan versus the Bills or Mixon versus the Titans? A-Chan. Again, Joe Mixon may do a little bit of damage through the air in this particular contest, but I am not entirely buying that he is going to be stellar by any stretch of the imagination. Oh, I missed the touchdown the Falcons scored. Oh, outstanding. Drake London calling. Oh, it's way too obvious. Calvin Ridley revenge game. London scoring in London. I mean, all the narratives. We're driving down that street. I mean, we're revving the engine right now. But I go, Chan versus the Buffalo Bills over Joe Mixon. Though I think Miami could be humbled a little bit in that game. Cody says Lockett or Tank Dell. I like Tank Dell. I think the upside is enormous in that match against the Pittsburgh Steelers. I know the Steelers right now, number 9 in total EPA defense. That has been a strength of them. But Tank Dell, a guy that's just accumulator right now, and in rhythm with CJ Stroud, who's looked fantastic, a little bit higher ceiling, I think, with him than the other way around. PPR, do you go Debo or Zay Jones? Hey, Steve, this just in. Zay Jones ain't playing. Yeah, question answered. Beer Blaster, hola to you. PPR, Elijah Moore, Chark, or Boyd. Ooh, it's not DJ Chark. Boyd is a little bit interesting. I'm going to go Elijah Moore. Even with the change at quarterback and Dorian, I think with DTR being under center, I think there is a real chance that he would be a check down du jour in this game. And, Elijah Moore is a guy that operates out of the backfield creatively as a runner on occasion and a safety valve as well. So, little bit higher ceiling, I believe, even with Deshaun Watson sitting with the Cleveland Brown. Grant Sambo says, good morning, amigo. Hola to you. Need to flex in a PPR, Najee, Achan, Brian Robinson, or Dell. Yeah. I'm going to go with Robinson for one. I'm going to go Tank Dell with the other. I make that easy. It was kind of a tough conundrum there, but I powered through. Kanan says, hey, Brad. Pick 3 at a PPR. Walker, yes. And Warren, maybe. Najee, no. Rashad White, yes. Herbert, no. So I'm going to go with Warren, Waller, and also with Rashad White. Best of luck to you there. Grant Sambo, thank you. You the man. Well, I'm not really the man. I am a man, but not the man by any stretch of the imagination. Jim says Tank Dell, T. Higgins, or Najee Harris. I go with T. Higgins here. Tank Dell, very close in that conversation, to be frank. But honestly, I ultimately believe that T. Higgins should get a little bit of his groove back. I know it's been a bit of a roller coaster ride, much like this Bengals offense in general, but no repercussions from Joe Burrow running about. There's been some tentative moments there, a little touch and go with that tender calf injury. And again, soft tissue issues remain undefeated. But, we're 4 weeks in now. I think we're going to see the best of Burrow today. So give me T. Higgins. Germ, Gazoon says half a point, PPR Madison, or rah. I mean, Ramondre Stevenson. I know what you're thinking, but this is going to be the Zeke revenge game. We'll take Zeke on an anytime touchdown instead. And I know there was a report floating out there that, Zeke Elliott's going to get more work. That very well may be the case, but it's not like Stevens is going to be rendered useless. I still think he's going to get at least 15 touches in this game. Some of those coming through the air. That's beneficial in a half-point PPR. Go with rah all day. Joe says start 2, Breece Hall, Derrick Henry, or Kelly from the Chargers. I can't go Kelly. Kelly has killed me. And watch, this will be the week he goes for like 100 yards and a touchdown. I got to go Derrick Henry, guaranteed volume there, although, he's got some toe issue that's bothering him. And I'll go Breece Hall. I just don't trust Joshua Kelly. J-Red, sir, I was wrong. The Beats might very well be the worst team. Oh, the Bears. Or we call them the Beats. Although they're not delicious on a salad. But if you get them on your clothes, it will stain. Today's game will be decision. Look, I've got my Bears gear on for a reason. I'm cheering for them to lose. Just take the L, guys, so I can get some Caleb Williams love, all right? Because I don't think Justin Fields is going to improve. In fact, he's regressing. John says, it hurts so good. Come on, Jalen, make it hurt so good. Yeah, a little Mellencamp reference. Should I trade him or will he get it rolling today? I'm fine with, Jalen Hurts doing his thing. It's too early to trade him. Unless you're getting the entire kit and caboodle, the entire, kitchen sink, there's no reason to deal him. You can beat Washington in downfield coverage. I think he's going to take some deep shots at A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith today, and they could convert on those. And he's always a threat to score in the end zone, the red zone with those legs. I mean, he squats elephants, as I've said for a living. Steve says another PBR. I need a flex out of these. Debo, Joshua Kelly, Rashid Shaheed. It's Debo. I know Debo's questionable, but is expected to play. He says thanks again. Had mandatory Montgomery on Thursday. Yeah, way to go. Yeah, I love all the pushback I still get on social media. People are saying, "Oh, you see the yards per carry on Dave Montgomery on Thursday? Oh, he's still bad. He's still rubbish. He's terrible running back." I don't care if he's a ham and egger. It doesn't matter. Look at the advanced data that is out there. Quit being married to the superficial numbers of those that continue to doubt him. He's always been appreciable in yards after contact per attempt, appreciable in missed tackles force, appreciable in yards created per touch. I subscribe to those numbers than the superficial data that the commoner views. And not only that, he had 30 plus touches in that game. He had a role in the pass game. And he had, not one, not two, but 3 touchdowns. Shut up, you haters. Just accept it. Dave Montgomery is a quality running back and finally being utilized to his full extent. It's about damn time. All right, moving on. Jenny says, flex, half-point PPR. Connor, Evans, or Joshua Kelly? I don't like Evans' matchup, given the history card there against Marshawn Lattimore, New Orleans Saints. Joshua Kelly, great matchup, but can you trust him? Can you really trust him? I can't. Even though Vegas a bunch of pushovers, maybe a splash 6 there. Connor, it's guaranteed volume, but I don't really like the matchup going against San Francisco. Oh, God. I will go Connor. I think it's a safer floor there, but I don't feel great about it. Haziel Martinez Castillo, A-Chan, or Herbert Khalil. And it's not Khalil. And I'm going to go with A-Chan on that one. I think he's going to get probably around 35-40% of the opportunity share. What's that check out to 10 to 12 touches? Yeah, a little bit more upside there. And then Khalil Herbert, who's losing work right now to my guy, Roshan Johnson. CC, hola, Brad. Nice call. A mandatory Montgomery. Damn right. Yeah, just, hit the flesh for fantasy, play it in the background, and crank it. Flashful Fantasy. That's a theme song. Old school Billy Idol cut. Hells to the yes. Should I replace Roshan and PPR Flex with any of these receivers? Boyd, no. Osborne, no. Or the Born Identity, no. I play Roshan Johnson. CC follows up with, should I pick up Fields off waivers? Wow. Already kicked to the curb by somebody. Might as well give it a shot. Look, we've seen what he can do. And I think he is at a point of maximum frustration. And it's going to be a tipping point. And I think, the coach is like, we want you to be more pocket tied. Fields is like, just let me play my game. And he is comfortable as a, opportunistic runner. And my God, if he can't take advantage of some of the lanes and the opportunities going to be presented in front of him today against a Broncos defense dead last in EPA rush D, then there's no hope for him. So I would pluck him now before the game today, because if he does revert to the player we saw last year, then you're already, rolling in profitability, my friend. Bo says Mike Evans, Kyron Williams, or Brandon Ayuk. I'm going to go with Kyron. I think he finds the end zone today. Probably catches 3 to 5 balls, too. Sledgehammer. Oh, yeah. Oh, the sledgehammer is a little bit limp. I didn't have any air to it, but Peter Gabriel was at the United Center last night. I could not attend, sadly, because I'm going to see U2 in Vegas on Thursday night. So I had to separate my travel plans. So I didn't get to see the wonderful, the great, the incomparable Peter Gabriel. But, in honor of him and the sledgehammer, Danny, I'm going to answer your question. Judy or Pittman? I'm going to go Judy. Again, you got to take advantage of the matchup against the Berenstein Bears. They're gummified. They're awful. CC says last one, replace Madison or Kyron with Gus the Bus in a standard league. I would debate it with Madison only, but honestly, I would still roll with Madison and Kyron. Taj, an half-point PPR, need one. Wide receiver, Amari Cooper, Tutu Atwell, Zay Flowers, because events have changed with the Cleveland Browns quarterback situation. And Dorian Thompson-Robinson, DTR, under center, and kind of the unknowns that are going to be attached to him there. I'm really regretting all my Amari Cooper bets, by the way, now. But I would probably pivot, and go to Tutu. I think Zay will maybe have 5, 6, 7 catches. But similar last week, it could be 5 catches for 40 yards, something like that. His upside is mitigated by the style of play that he has. Tutu, though, man, he's a blazer in the open field. I'm a big fan of Matthew Stafford today. I think he's going to put in a back end QB1 line. And I think Atwell can only stand to benefit. How's he already answered that one? Good luck to you, my friend. Corey, hola, Brad. Hola, Corey. Stream Knox Everett or Chig Okonkwo. Flex Debo or DJ Moore? The answer is never DJ Moore. I go Debo, even though he is dinged up. And I'm going to go with Knox. Always a touchdown appeal in a game with a lot of shootout upside as well. Key says, what's up, Brad? Merci beaucoup. Thanks so much for doing this. Yeah, no problem. I'm a man of the people. I have the new Bleach Report show. I'm thrilled about it, but I don't want to leave you guys at the altar. That'd be wrong. So I'm going to be doing these broadcasts earlier, as I stated, early every single Sunday moving forward. Flex non-PPR need one. Chan, Wilson. One of these days I'll get that right. Garrett Wilson, Flowers, Atwell, or Gabe Davis. I honestly like Gabe Davis out of that group the most. Though you got some fantastic options there. I'd rank it Davis, Atwell, Wilson, Flowers, and Achan or Achan. That's where I would go. Ezekiel says, hola, amigo. Hola. Part question is quarterback Dax or Richardson? Give me Mr. Richardson because of the rushing upside. Flex Moss, Kelly, or Palmer. Oh, it's got to be Zach Moss. Who's going to be in for another 20-plus rush attempts, I believe, today in a game that'll be a little bit tighter than some people think against the L.A. Rammies. Todd says, hola, Brad. Hola. Pick two running backs, Madison Pacheco, Pierce Connor. Pacheco's in. I think Pacheco finds the end zone. Pacheco is going to have a substantial passing role tonight, and I love the over at 11.5 receiving yards for him as a result of that. And then I guess I'll take Connor. So same, no, not quite same game, different name, but I'll go Connor against San Francisco because he could accumulate the receptions and maybe trip some balls in the end zone. Corey already answered that. Best of luck to you, JR. Gil Padilla. Hello, sir. Hola, sir. Devin Singletary, Gus Edwards. Gotta be Gus the Bus. More red zone appeal and upside there. Patrice. Hello, Patrice. Starting Mike Evans this week with Lattimore matchup. It depends what your alternatives are. I took the under on my cousin, Mike Evans, receiving yards. That number I grabbed at 59.5. I think it's as high as 60.5 at some books. I don't see Evans having a banner week. Is it possible? Sure. But Lattimore's kind of had the best of them over the years. So it all depends upon your alternatives there. Evan says, Firemouth, Higbee, or Komet at tight end. Not Higbee with the tender Achilles, even though expected to play. Cole Komet, he's a bear. Really. You can't trust any bear right now except maybe Rashawn Johnson. That's about it. Firemouth for me, please. Tommy says, full point PBR, Brian Robinson, Pacheco, or Jalen Warren, Pacheco for me, for the reasons I already mentioned. Carr is playing. All right, well, I appreciate the info there, Ryan. I know he kind of had an about face rapidly last night, and there was indications that he would possibly go, so it sounds like he is going to go now. So that's a great development if you got some Chris Olave shares, Michael Thomas, maybe a little Johnson at tight end, Alvin Kamara as a checkdown weapon. Purdy, Stroud, or Justin Fields. The highest floor of the bunch, honestly, is Purdy. I think he's throwing 2 TDs. The only sudden thoughts on if the Bills and Dolphins will go over 53.5 or a sneaky under, probably sneaky under, be my guess. I worry more about the Miami side of things. I like Buffalo quite a bit. I'd laid the chalk. I grabbed it at 2.5 when the line opened earlier this week. I haven't looked at it this morning. I don't know what it's up to. But for me, I think the Buffalo Bills serve up the entire humble pie to the Miami Dolphins. John says, Njoku, oh, terrible accent with him. We'll see if he is going to be limited in any way, shape, or form today. Or Ertz. I'd probably go Ertz, just given the limitations expected for Mr. Njoku. Hopefully he's going to get better soon after that burn incident that he had at his home. Evan says, pick 2, Hollywood, Judy. Judy's in for me. Lockett, DJ Moore, Flowers, and Najee. I'm going to go Judy and Lockett. Tom says, thoughts on Josh Kelly today? Nobody wants to start him anymore. Why? What indication does he give you to say, I got to have confidence in playing Joshua Kelly? Zero confidence level with him right now. Ham and Egger. And he is scrambled Ham and Egger right now. I know it's a great matchup on paper because Las Vegas pushover defense. They are bottom, I think, 7 right now in EPA rush defense in the league. Kelly's probably going to get around, 13, 14, 15 carries. But, man, he's so subpar. It's touchdown or bust for him today. And I'm not even entirely sure he's going to get that. Pittman or Dell from Tommy. I'm going to go Tank Dell. Josh says trade proposal. Pollard for Evans and Connor. No, I would not do that deal. Line 3. Hola. Najee or Roshan. Roshan for me. Josh, that same trade proposal, which I just gave an answer to. Steve said, last Debo question for me. Zay Flowers or Debo in PPR. Probably a higher floor with Zay in PPR, to be honest with you. If you want to chase a higher ceiling, it's Debo. Josh says PPR 2 out of the 3, Devontae Smith in. Debo or Mike Evans. I'll go Debo over Mike Evans. J Red says, Ivan Juku is my tight end in a PPR. Should I keep him in or pick up Knox, Everett, or Ertz? If I pivot, I would go Knox. Terry says, need to sit one. Mostert, Kyron Williams, or Kamara. That's Mostert. Kirk says, half point PPR, Jalen Warren or Chris Godwin. Ooh, Chris Godwin. Michael says, what's the plus money bet you'd make if your favorite bottle of tequila was the prize? Okay, so my favorite bottle of tequila, so Clase Azul is sitting on the shelf. There's a beam of light cascading upon it and showering, and it's just wonderful, elegant goodness because the body is shaped like a beautiful woman's body. It's amazing. Plus money wager. Well, the one I really liked was Calvin Ridley. That already cashed. The other one I really like is Jamar Chase anytime touchdown. Again, last I saw was a plus 125. If you're looking for plus money, bar none, my favorite bet of the day, Jamar Chase to score a tutty and finally against the Tennessee Titans. So there you go. And give me that Class A Azul, Port Neat. Now, bartender, do it, please. Thank you. Brandon says Jerry Jeudy, Tyler Lockett, or Joe Mixon. Jerry Jeudy. The Bears stink. Danny says pick one for RB2, Breece Hall, Alexander Madison, or Ford. I'm going Ford. And I do have a bet on Jerome Ford over 66.5 rush plus receiving yards. I grabbed that earlier in the week. Probably play the number up to the mid-70s. I know people are down on Ford, but he still, had a viable fantasy day last week, and it was a very difficult matchup against the Tennessee Titans. And I know you got to change a quarterback, but you have a dual threat quarterback now with Dorian under center. I think he gets there. You look at the Ravens, they've allowed 84.3 rush yards per game, 31.3 receiving yards per game to the running back position. This is going to be a 15 to 17 touch kind of game. And Ford has been the picture of efficiency. Number 9 in yards created per touch. He is also top 10 in missed tackles forced and number 7 in yards after contact per attempt. I like him. He's not a Hamoniger. He's not a Joshua Kelly. Starting a law of NE2, Hopkins, Godwin. Godwin's in. Judy is in. Palmer's interesting, but I'm going to go with Godwin and Judy in a game where defense will just not even show up. Bill says, hey, Brett. Hey, what's going on, Bill? James Conner or Gabe Davis? Gabe Davis for me. Michael says, cheers. Cheers to you, sir. And Patrice says, Zeke or Brian Robinson, Zeke revenge game. I did wager on anytime touchdown with Zeke Elliott. I think I grabbed that at plus 225 at DraftKings like a couple hours ago. Couldn't believe it. But I'm going to go with Brian Robinson. Higher volume, and I usually err on the side of guaranteed volume. All right, folks. I guess that's all the questions that you brought to me today. I know some people are absent because they're probably like, well, Brad, why you do this so early, man? I don't understand. Look, I got bills to pay. Nobody wants to employ me as a writer and pay me a fair wage. So, I got Live on Line. I got the Fade 5 podcast. I got this gig with Bleacher Report. I'm trying to pay the bills. I got kids putting in college very soon. So as a result, I'm doing these every single week at 10 a.m. Central, 11 a.m. Eastern time moving forward. Oh, and speaking of, there's going to be more me and Tank Williams. So watch me and Tank on the Bleacher Report app starting at noon Eastern, 23 minutes away as it stands right now. We're going to answer more of your questions. We're going to have more player props, booms, bangs, and busts from every single remaining week for game, with the exception of Monday night. So the Sunday slate only. Also, do me a favor, watch live on the line at noon Eastern on Valley Sports and Stadium. Every Monday through Friday is when we air. Not doing the Sunday show this year, but hopefully that'll come back next year. It's a show I'm very proud of because my creative juices are a part of it. And I've got some awesome co-hosts, and Dana Klobuchar and Cameron Smith. So please tune in every single day and don't miss it. And also as well, the Fade Thigh podcast. Make sure that you're subscribing to that wherever you download and get your podcast, or you can stream out here on the same YouTube channel. We'll have a new episode tomorrow, probably midday-ish, and then we'll have new episodes Thursday and Friday as well. However, I will say this. Since I'm going to be in Vegas seeing you too on Thursday night, Friday maybe a little bit later than normal, or it could be even on Saturday as a solo show. But I will get something out. I promise the masses, because I am a man of the people, and you need help, you want assistance, and you want to pick my pea-sized brain. All right, that's all the questions, comments, and everything else that I got for you today. Again, check out the Bleacher Report show coming up in about 20 minutes with Tank and I. Until next time, as always, fade or follow, it's up to you, and adios, amigo.